Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk a little bit about speculation and mostly logical speculation and how speculation can really kind of not be appropriate in every circumstance.
Like COVID.
Yeah, so
That's a perfect example right now. It's relevant for all of us. I had someone on one of my threads say something like, you need to stop posting about COVID. And I'm like, well, we're all stuck inside. We're all thinking about it. So we're going to talk about it occasionally.
Well, I think it's a great example of where speculation kind of falls short because it's something that's so new that speculation can really backfire in a couple ways. And so to back up, before we get into that, I would argue that speculation is both normal to do in the scientific field, and it's...
Because you can't develop anything new, you can't study anything new if you have no speculation, like you have to.
Speculation generates hypotheses that you can then test and verify.
And pushes evolution forward. Like, we need it.
Yeah.
We need it, but
it's very important. And in fields where there is a lot of like well-established data on various things, you can speculate.
Make pretty good logical speculations,
right?
And conclusions.
Yeah, I'll give you a good example of mine. Okay, carnivore diet, super popular now. But there's literally like zero data investigating the health effects of a carnivore diet outside of a bunch of anecdotes that are worthless in the scientific field because they're not controlled or any of that stuff. But if we look at known biological mechanisms of the intestinal tract, for example, and the interactions between the microbes and our intestinal health, we can logically speculate that a diet devoid of fiber or very low in fiber and very rich in protein over the long term will cause notable damage and extinction of important microbial species. And we have...
Lead to colon cancer, right?
Yeah, and it can, yes, exactly, lead to colon cancer and just bad things. And we have plenty of data in rodents and other species like pigs, which have very similar intestinal tract, as well as cell cultures. That all suggests this is how things would play out. We don't have data to verify any of this speculation, but it's very logical speculation based on known mechanisms. Now, what about COVID? Can we do that with COVID?
No, because it's a brand new virus. Not this version is the coronavirus. It's mutated.
Yeah.
So it's not, I mean, it comes from like SARS and that whole line, but it's different. This one is different, and that's why we don't have a vaccine. That's why we don't know what the fuck to do with it at all.
That's
like
why...
our virologists, our immunologists, like no one knows what to do yet, and no one is making bold claims for a reason.
Yeah, and it's where speculation, it's a perfect example of where speculation can be wrong and harmful, because I think we need to speculate with the virus because that's what's going to push things forward. We need to have that speculation, but we need to have a better understanding of how the virus works in order to make those speculations. And I'm not talking about like single myopically focused mechanisms like how it enters into a cell. I'm talking about big picture, like how it enters into the cell and the cascade of events that occur in order for it to ultimately cause disease and respiratory
we just
distress.
Don't understand that because we don't understand everything that is going on in the chain of events.
And we've seen that with certain like nutritional supplements, certain recommendations that we might make previously based on how they interact with other viruses. For some of them, they don't seem to be playing out with this one in the sense that this virus is different. So it's like a two-step process, right? It's like if you just think about boosting the immune system or promoting a resilient and robust immune system, some of the things that you do in that circumstance, you could speculate, hey, I know that we have a bunch of data showing that these things foster a healthy immune system, and therefore I'm going to do them all in order as a preventive means towards the coronavirus. But
yeah, but the problem is that if you already have like an autoimmune condition, you're not going to want to take a bunch of stuff that boosts your immune system. I don't like that word, but that's how everyone understands it, so I'm still using it. Because the way this is killing people is through a cytokine storm, right? It is.
I don't know. I've seen things about, well, this is a great example of the speculation. It's okay.
But everyone is different, and that's my point, is that you can't tell someone to not take this or take that or in supplements, because everyone is different. Their immune regulation is all different.
It's all in different places. Like, are you going to tell someone that's insufficient or deficient in vitamin D to not take vitamin D because of a theoretical mechanism about how it might increase the entrance of a virus into the
Well, that
cell?
might be relevant to someone that has like sufficient vitamin D, but not someone that has low.
Yeah, like so making these
context
broad level,
always matters.
Yeah, exactly. Making these broad level recommendations can be dangerous and harmful. And I mean, as much as I hate the notion of like stay in your lane, with things like this where it literally can affect the lives of people quite severely, if you change your diet, as an example, if you make a dietary change, you're not putting yourself at immediate risk of death.
No.
But this is an infectious agent that can kill you. And
quickly.
So if you're making changes that affect your infectious risk, those could play out in a very, very bad way. Right?
Yeah. So I would suggest that people work with their practitioner.
Yeah.
Because I know how my immune system reacts because of my cancer, and I've worked with tons of functional medicines. I know where I stand, is what I'm saying, and I know what I need. You could need something different. Someone else could need something completely different. So I'm not going to say, this is what I take. This is what everyone needs to do.
Yeah.
That's illogical.
Yeah.
And dangerous of me.
Yeah.
So the responsibility would fall on me not to give that advice out.
Yeah. So this is kind of, admittedly, it's more of a little ranty video, but I guess the point that
I think it's good though, because I'm seeing stuff all over Instagram and Facebook. People are like jumping on this marketing train, trying to market their products. To
profiteer off COVID.
They're making supplements even like just for COVID, like that say COVID on the label.
Yeah.
Like it's insanity.
And well, thankfully, the FDA is going to begin cracking down on people that are giving nutrition and supplementation advice for COVID.
Because we just don't know.
Yeah, and all of the actual experts in this, all of the people who specialize in viruses and who are working on this, admit that. Like, if something worked, we would know about it.
There's not a conspiracy. To kill everyone.
So our point is really just with this virus in particular, just be skeptical about the type of speculations being put forward.
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
If there is a COVID template that you're looking at, it's probably too good to be true.
Yeah. Just remain vigilant. I mean, do things that just generally keep you healthy, like washing your hands, social isolation, eating a good diet.
Nutrient-dense diet is big.
Like, all of these things.
Get some exercise to keep your lymphatic system going. Like, that's a big one. Everyone's like, stay inside. Outside is fine. As far as like in New York, we're still allowed to go outside as long as we don't go near anyone. We can exercise by ourselves. Like, we can go out for runs and stuff. So keep that going. Keep yourself walking, especially if you live out in the boonies. Like, go walk in the woods. Have fun.
Yeah. And just keep your skeptic hat on for COVID, because it's not like viruses that we've seen before.
Nope.
Anyway.
So if you like this, give us a like, share, comment,
and subscribe.